it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel and another day in the life video. Today's video is a little special because I'm doing something I've never done before. I asked you guys a few weeks ago on Instagram if you'd be interested in me doing a little video about my very first mammogram and any questions you guys had. And a lot of you guys said yes, and some of you had questions. So I did just turn 40, and of course when you're 40, unless you have any reasons to do it any sooner, you're at least supposed to get your first mammogram when you're 40. That's what I'm doing today. Obviously I've never had one before. I don't really know what to expect other than just you hear all these horror stories about how painful it is and everything. I'm gonna just assume that that is not the case for everybody. So we'll find out, but that was one of your guys' questions, was how painful is it and how long do you have to be in the machine having it done? And then any other questions about it I'll answer after I've actually had it done. But those are the two things that I got asked the most, was how much does it hurt and how long does it take while you're in the machine. The only thing I know up to this point is they did tell me to not wear any deodorant or body lotion coming into the appointment. She did say if you do have deodorant on that you can wipe it off when you get to the appointment. But I went ahead and just am not wearing any. My appointment's in only an hour anyway, so I figure I'm not going to get sweaty before then. I know people say if you're really big chested it can hurt really bad. If you're really small chested it can hurt really bad. I am very, very small. Or maybe it hurts equally for everybody, but nobody really knows because they don't know what another person is feeling. Does that make any sense? I don't know. But that's the plan for today, and I wanted to encourage you guys, if you have not had a mammogram before and you're 40 years or older, or you're at high risk because of family history with breast cancer, I highly encourage you to do it. It's just one day out of 365 days you have to do something unpleasant or uncomfortable. But I think it's really worth it. It is really important, and I encourage you guys to do it. So I'm gonna do it. You guys should do it too, and I will check back in a little while after I have. Okay, so I'm all done at my appointment. It didn't take that long. Well, once I was in there, I had to wait for a while to get called back. It took about 10 or 15 minutes in the actual appointment. It's almost 3 o'clock. And I stopped by Chipotle to get the girls and me some lunch because we hadn't had lunch yet. So I'm gonna take that home. We're gonna eat that on the patio, of course, our new favorite place to eat. And then when I get done with that, I will sit down and kind of tell you guys a little bit more about the process with the mammogram and how it went. And also, okay guys, so lunch is over, I'm back home, and I wanted to sit down and kind of share with you the process of how everything went. So like I said, I had to wait for a little while before I got called back. Once I got back there, the lady told me where my gown was, and she had some wipes sitting out for me to wipe off my deodorant if I had any. And like I said, I didn't have any when I went in, but I went ahead and wiped anyway just to make sure that I had no residue on there at all. And then when she came back in the room after I had put my gown on and everything, they look at you and see if you have anything on your skin near your chest area that might show up on the mammogram and be a false positive of something. So they mark any moles, any skin tags, anything like that that you have in that area. They mark with these little stickers. They also cover up sensitive areas of your chest. I'm not going to say that word because I don't know. I'm assuming it's all women here watching this, but just in case there's anybody who's watching it for the wrong reasons, I don't want to be too graphic. But they do cover up some sensitive areas with a little sticker as well. Basically what she did was she took 4 images, 2 from the top and the bottom, and then 2 from the side. So they're actually compressing you this way, for lack of a better word, sandwiches you in between the top and the bottom panel. The hard part of that for me was, like I said, I am really small busted. So her challenge, it seems like, was trying to get a good image because there just wasn't a whole lot to take an image of, if that makes sense. So that was the main thing, was making sure that you're standing really close to the machine, making sure that you had to hold your arm out and kind of behind the machine so that you're getting a good angle. That part really wasn't bad at all. It didn't hurt at all for me. Then after that first image, she has you hold your breath, and then she takes another image. Then they release the pressure from that angle, and then you have to do the one from the side. So the machine is you're kind of leaning on top of the machine, and it's coming at you from this way. That was more uncomfortable for me just because it was so hard for me to get my body positioned in a way that she was able to get a good image. And because I am smaller, it was a little bit hard, I think, for her to get that angle that she was wanting. So that took the longest, and it took several tries. We actually had to go back and do one side over again because she wasn't able to get a full image. So that was my only thing. That was the only discomfort I really had, was those side images, and I do think that is mostly because I am smaller. If you were bigger, I think it just hurts depending on the size you are for different reasons. If you're bigger, there's more to squish, I guess. But if you're smaller, even though there's not as much to squish, you have to kind of contort your body in a little bit of a different way to get a good image. So I think either way, it may be a little bit uncomfortable, but it definitely wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's certainly not bad enough that I would ever say I wouldn't do it on a regular basis, every year like I need to. So after that, we did the 4 images, the 1 redo from the side, and that was it. She said that she will, the radiologist will read it, and then if there's something wrong, they will call me. Otherwise, I'll get a letter in the mail. So that's pretty much the whole process. Once I got called back into the room, the mammogram itself only took about 15 or 20 minutes. And like I said, a lot of that for me was getting in position for the camera, standing at the right angle, and getting kind of situated that way. That's what took the longest. So I imagine that for anybody, it really wouldn't take any more than 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes for a regular mammogram. So nothing really to be that concerned about or to dread that much. I'm not sore or anything, and I definitely am glad that it wasn't as bad as people made it out to be, or at least in my experience. So I hope that makes you feel better. Definitely everybody's experience is different. Everybody is shaped differently, different sizes and everything, of course. It's going to affect everyone differently, but don't let what other people tell you about it give you too much concern, because really everybody's going to be different. But that is pretty much the main part of today I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure if you did, you give it a thumbs up. I hope it encouraged you and made you feel better about possibly having your next mammogram or your first mammogram. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.